The following is a production of cprundown.com. The views and opinions expressed by the hosts of this podcast are those of the individual and not of any affiliated companies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast covering the Cedar Fair Entertainment Company, the amusement industry, and the business of fun. Here are your hosts, Karsten Anderson, Evan Schultz, and Kyle Huth.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of the Rundown on Fun, a weekly podcast where we cover Cedar Fair, Cedar Point, and everything to do with fun. And this week, we have a kind of a different format episode for you. There wasn't a whole lot of news to work with this week, so we decided to just do kind of a quick hits episode, if you could call it that, where we just talk about, 4 or 5 different news stories, and
and send you on about your week.
Yeah.
Emphasis on quick, maybe.
Yeah, well, hopefully we expect it to be like a 30 to 40 minute show.
Yeah, it should.
We say that
it should go quicker. I mean, I guess it depends on how deep we go into everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I guess Karsten, lead us off.
Well, yeah. So there's been a lot of talk lately, and the talk has been about Top Thrill Dragster at Cedar Point.
People are talking about Dragster. Crazy.
No, really?
You know, right? So one thing is Top Thrill Dragster has had its launch cable on since they, turned it off and had it, closed down and everything. And this week, a few days ago, one of our readers sent us a picture, and the cable from Top Thrill Dragster is missing now. So,
So
I don't
take
know
that for what you will.
We don't know if it's a good sign or if it's a bad sign.
Well, Karsten, say the other thing, and then I'll give.
And then there's also one other thing that just popped up today: the Top Thrill Dragster fuel car.
The model dragster by the exit.
Fuel dragster fuel car, which is like a mini, small dragster next to the exit of Top Thrill Dragster and the photo booth, is now missing. It is not there anymore, and that just happened today.
Well, a couple weeks ago we talked about, kind of where we thought what would happen if they reopened the ride and where they would move the line if the line was moved. And my prediction was that where that car is would kind of be the new entrance. So if that's true, maybe they're refurbing it or they're just going to move it somewhere else and keep it at the new exit. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, all the signs are still up and everything. You can still go on the bleachers, so I don't know.
I mean, Karsten, you and I were texting about this earlier, and that's exactly what I said at first, Kyle, was I feel like this could very well be, on the surface, it's oh crap, but I feel like this is just, okay, they're going to start doing some construction and they don't want that thing to get damaged or it's in the way or whatever. So let's get it out of there. I think that's the first easy thing to move.
I think we should also point out very quickly, just as a housekeeping thing, that we are not going in restricted areas to find this information. Nope. We are not using any insider information, and we encourage you all to not do that as well.
Yeah, definitely stay
Please.
Out of restricted areas, stay out of areas where you're not supposed to be. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, part of me thinks that it's coming back, but also part of me is is it coming back? Because
nobody knows at this point.
Right.
Yeah.
And everybody's been super hush hush about it. I'm thinking what you just said, Evan. I think construction's possibly going to start because, Cedar Point's going to be starting to close during the week. So maybe they're going to start.
It'll be really interesting to see that Friday that they're open in between Haunt and this weekend. Was it the 9th? Yeah, the 9th. What changes happened between Labor Day and that day?
And that's going to be, I mean, maybe there's going to be none. I have a feeling there's going to be something
Yeah. Not only the dragster area, but the boardwalk too. I mean, we know that when the park closes during the week, that's when you really start seeing off-season.
Right, because they don't have to worry about guests walking on the midway and until 5 days from there. Well,
yeah,
actually,
they have 4 days to get heavy machinery in and out and do what needs to be done.
They don't have to worry, but yeah, maybe we'll start to see if your theory comes true, Kyle. We'll start to see possibly maybe some land clearing of behind where that dragster fuel card was, you know?
Yeah,
and it's worth noting. Kyle, go ahead.
I mean, I was just going to say too, you know, if it does happen, that's work that they weren't necessarily planning on doing this off season, so it makes sense that they want to get a jump on it while the weather's still nice.
Right, right, for sure.
It's worth noting that Blood on the Bayou is indeed not in its typical spot again this year. It's back in Forbidden Frontier.
Right, you can as if you when you read the description,
right,
locations you can find out.
Right, whereas Kyle said a couple of weeks ago that he thought the line could be back where Blood on the Bayou used to be. So this is kind of moving in that direction. I don't know what to think about the cable being gone. That could just be a refurb thing.
Well, yeah, I mean,
don't those launch cables have to get replaced like 2 or 3 times a season?
I thought so.
And
at least,
if not that, at least every season.
Yeah, and this one has sat dormant since last year. There's no way it's still good anymore. I mean, regardless of if the ride stays or goes, the launch cable needs to be removed.
Or who's to say that it's going to stay hydraulic? Maybe it's going to be, launched.
I thought about that, but if they change it to LSMs,
yeah, I don't get the point of that.
I don't think
the
that's
launch had nothing to do with the accident.
It might just be a more they decided to put all their chips in the middle of the table and said, hey, we're going to keep Top Thrill Dragster, but let's make it a lot more reliable. And that might be the kicker right there to where it'll be more reliable than hydraulic. I don't know.
I just feel like that's going to crank up the energy bill. And I feel like you'd have to make the launch track a lot longer. Like you'd have to put LSMs halfway up the spike.
I mean, it's probably doable, right?
Probably. I mean, this is just my personal opinion. Again, no insider information, but I think if it does reopen, I don't think they're going to switch the launch system. But hey, what do I know?
I'm in Kyle's camp on that.
I mean, I agree with you as well. I just think it's just too involved unless they're going to be like, hey,
you have to replace all the track if you do that.
Unless they come back and say maybe, later on in the fall or the winter, they're like, well, Dragster's coming back, but in 2025 or 2023 or not 2023, sorry, like 2024. You're going to have to replace all the track because you can't just, I don't think you can just modify that track.
I don't think you can either.
Because that's got like it's got a track for the launch car. I mean,
yeah. What does our resident engineer have to say about that?
That would be a complete rebuild on the launch track. It'd have to be.
I feel like that probably maybe be more expensive to do that than to just get brand new track. So, I mean, I don't know. Again, okay. So the census, Kyle, we'll start with you. Is it staying or is it going? And then we'll revisit this when we finally know an answer.
Okay. I think
in like February,
I think it is staying with its current launch system, just with a rerouted queue.
Okay.
Ditto.
Same thing?
Ditto.
I think that the queue is going to possibly be on the midway and then maybe go around there or something. I don't know. I don't think the queue is going to stay exactly where it was going to go. And I
think you think the ride's staying?
Yes, I do think the ride's staying. And I think that it's the whole station, everything's going to be reworked and you're going to get in on the opposite, like where you don't load in. I think it's going to be flipped. I think.
See, now here's where I am scratching my head. If this accident happened 3 years ago before they dumped all that money into the launch system, I'd say they're getting rid of it.
It'd be gone.
But
it would have been gone yesterday.
Yeah. But at this point, they've put so much money into it, and it is still an anchor attraction. I mean, you ask people out for the front gate, you do a poll of 100 people, what ride are you most excited to ride? 70 of them are going to say Top Thrill Dragster.
Well, there was a poll online that someone did, and someone was like, "Hey, does it?" I think it was like that UK site that shared our news or our updates, and I think they did a poll, and they were like 85 to 90% people said that they want to see Top Thrill Dragster back. So
yeah, well, and then here's the other thing too. Everybody at work knows I'm the dorky Cedar Point guy, and of course, conversation does trickle down the dragster at some point, and I would say of the people in the room that would go to Cedar Point anyways, they're amusement park people, they're roller coaster people, probably I don't know, 80% of them said, I'm not going this year because Dragster's not open. I'm not buying a ticket. So, I mean, that just shows how important Dragster is to the general public.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It'll definitely be interesting, and we just have to, watch. The thing is, though, that like kind of like catches me off guard is we've noticed this too, Evan, is we've noticed a lot more merchandise kind of showing up. Not new, but we've noticed that, there's, you pointed out there's a Top Thrill Dragster, an old Top Thrill Dragster ornament. There's
that
also,
just, I mean, it's not a new ornament, but that did just come out of nowhere.
right. And there's a lot more new shirts that are coming out, and Top Thrill Dragsters in the skyline. So why would you be selling brand new merchandise? Obviously, it's not showcasing Top.
That makes reference to Dragster,
right? But like, why? Like, if you're gonna get rid of it, wouldn't you want it to get rid of out of your skyline? Like those brand new Under Armour shirts that I posted have all of, you can see Top Thrill Dragster's Hill. So I don't know. In the beginning of the season. In the beginning of the season, I think we saw like new merchandise from the GV. I don't know how to say their name, but that brand style. And on the back, they didn't list Top Thrill Dragster as one of the rides that you listed. But then also in the skyline, it wasn't there. But now it's starting to show up.
But that made, because those were shirts that were like 2022 specific. Well, you can't ride Dragster in 2022, so why list it?
Right.
Now, the shirts that are just general, to your point, if you remember in like 2020 and the beginning and 2021. Before Wicked Twister's announcement, Wicked Twister was gone from everything.
Right.
Like there was no mention of Wicked Twister on the skyline of any of the new shirts. And then
even those
in July, they were like, "Hey, we're getting rid of Wicked Twister."
Even those Coaster Dynamic, the skyline models, we all knew, we're like, the yellow spikes are not in it. What's going on? And that was like,
and they just came out with they came out with those skyline things, new ones for this year.
Yeah.
At some point in the last couple of months, and Dragster is in it.
Right.
I mean, we're heavily reading the tea leaves here.
We're just trying to figure it out. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's gonna be back for its 20th. It'll be 20 years, next year, which is kind of crazy.
It's going to be very unceremonious. It's going to be, here's a press release saying that we're reopening Dragster, and here's what we did, and see you on opening day.
I don't know. That's where we differ. That's where I think it's going to be. They're going to announce and be like, "Hey, Dragster's returning. This is what we're going to do," and they're going to be like hyping and pumping it up. But I don't know.
I think if it is coming back, and if it is, because we don't know.
Right.
I think it's going to be a combination of those two. I think we're going to see a press release saying it's coming back, like an unceremonious press release. And then maybe at Winter Chill Out, we'll find out that information.
And maybe, again, zero inside information, but maybe at Winter Chill Out, they're like, "Oh, hey, by the way, we have a brand new Dragster train to show off." And they're like, "What?"
Yeah. I just don't think they're going to want it because of the reason behind all of this. I just don't think they're going to want to make any positive mention of this. They're just going to state the news and go on.
I agree with you in that aspect because of the situation behind it. I don't think they're going to want to, "Hey, what's new?" And right. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
yeah, they don't want to make light
of a bad situation.
Right. This woman almost got did get really, really badly hurt. We're going to use it as a marketing play.
Right. I don't know. Like, I think that, I'm excited.
If they make a big deal out of Dragster reopening, it comes off like they don't care about what happened to the park. Right. That's the way I look at it.
And that is not in the safety is our number one priority, that narrative that they've been.
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure.
But, moving into happier news, we got a new event announced today.
I'm so excited about this.
Say this one 10 times fast. Happy Friars Fresh Cut Fries Fest.
This is going to be awesome.
I'm excited about this. This came out of the blue, by the way.
Yeah, it is a 3-day event, September 9th, September 10th, and September 11th.
Excited. I'm going to eat so many French fries next weekend.
You're going to have a lot of, what is it? Not carbs, right? Or no, that's not carbs, is it?
Starch.
I don't know.
Potatoes are starch.
Yeah. You're going to see me in the first aid, though, for sure.
Lots of starch.
I'll do a quick rundown real quick. Ding. They're offering multiple styles of French fries. So the first one is bento fries. Fresh cut fries with surimi, wasabi aioli, yum yum sauce, green onions, and black sesame seeds.
Oh,
And
Asian fries.
That's specifically at the hot potato, which
Yes.
is on
Under Raptor.
Under Raptor. Yeah.
Yes.
And then the other one being offered there.
The other one being offered there is the French dip fries. Fresh cut fries with Philly meat, caramelized onions, beef au jus, mozzarella and provolone shredded cheese, and something they're calling bistro sauce.
I've had bistro sauce before. It's kind of like a horseradish-y type sauce.
Okay.
At least the one I had. It could have been a complete screw up on the sauce, but
Yeah.
it was definitely a horseradish-y sauce.
So yeah, those ones are going to be offered at the hot potato French fry stand on the main midway near Raptor.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other ones are going to be at the Happy Fryer near Gemini. And the first one is Bira fries. Fresh cut fries with shredded beef brisket, chicholula cheese. I butchered that name so much.
Chihuahua.
Yeah.
That's Chihuahua, buddy.
Oh,
Is
literally?
it Chihuahua?
Chihuahua.
I've
Okay.
never heard of Chihuahua cheese.
I haven't either. My brain told me
If
that's
you've
what that
been to Barrio,
Okay. See,
Okay.
my brain told me that's what that word was, but I refused to believe it.
somebody's
You
gonna
didn't wanna
listen.
say
Somebody's gonna listen to the podcast and be like, Evan's an idiot. It's not Chihuahua.
It literally is. I'm looking at it. Anyway,
Yeah.
Chihuahua cheese, Bira oil, sliced red Fresno chilies, cilantro, and diced red onion.
Also sounds fantastic.
That sounds really good. Yeah.
Thai fries, fresh cut fries with peanut sauce, crushed peanuts, sliced red Fresno chilies, cilantro, and a lime wedge.
Can I just say that those ones sound like I think might be my fave.
They all sound fantastic.
And
They
then
do.
The last one is the Mount Spudsmore. And this includes 3 pounds of fresh cut fries served in 3 different flavors plus the original. The bottom of the pile is served with Cajun fries with cherry, pepper, and pineapple jam. And then garlic parmesan fries with lemon aioli. And the top is dried mushroom and truffle fries with basil pesto. And then the entire pile is topped with original fresh cut fries.
That sounds.
So Kyle, you flying up to help me and Carson eat that?
I might have to.
We're gonna have to use the CP Rundown credit card on this one.
Right. Yeah. So to that point, we don't have. This sounds like it should be a tasting card type event. There's no information on that. There's no information on pricing or anything, but we do know that this is what they're doing, and it sounds absolutely great.
Yeah, I mean, the event was also just announced today. I'm assuming as
Yeah.
we get a little bit closer, we'll hear more about it. But really,
Or you'll walk in the park and see a sign that says, "Hey, buy a tasting card for this."
I think it's really cool that they're doing it that specific weekend, because isn't that in between regular season and Haunt?
Yes.
Which is traditionally a very low attended weekend. That now they're probably going to get a lot of locals in wanting to try.
And this year they really expanded the hours for that weekend. Normally they're closed Friday. They're open from 1 to 10 on Saturday and 11 to 8 on Sunday. This year it's 11 to 10, 11 to 10, and 11 to 8, which is awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. And maybe they're testing it out to see how well it does, and then maybe they'll roll it out. Maybe
this is really cool because they're really playing on.
Maybe they'll roll.
themselves.
Maybe maybe one of the best selling flavors or something. Maybe they'll be like,
Will
hey,
be on the menu.
maybe you never know.
I could also see them bringing this back every year and running it in conjunction with Cedar Point Nights, because that takes place on the beach. And then this is like, hey, if you don't want to go out to the beach, we still have a food festival for you, and everybody loves French fries.
Oh my gosh, yeah, and everybody likes French fries. I feel like I think it's a win.
Yeah.
Also, should be mentioned that the Mount Spudmore is only offered from noon to 4 while supplies last.
Yeah, while supplies last.
I mean, what is it? 3 pounds of food?
3 pounds of French fries.
I mean, that's a lot of fries.
See, the only
You're
thing
definitely gonna want to share.
Yeah.
You know.
See, for me, I don't like mushrooms, so the Mount Spudmore is a complete turn off because I don't want that dry.
Oh, I
mushroom and
love
truffle fries.
mushrooms.
Well, you could eat that portion then. I will have the garlic parm and the Cajun.
Yeah, maybe the thinking here is everybody will like a different flavor, and then you each get your own little portion of fries.
The lemon aioli sounds so good. I'm so excited.
Yeah, they all sound good. So I'm definitely excited to.
Yeah,
I think I get paid that Friday too. So
I'm a little
perfect.
I'm a little upset that they waited until I moved to Florida to announce this event, but I guess I just have to live with my choices.
They're like, well, Kyle's moved to Florida. Let's do it up. Let's go.
They're like, God, this will get him back.
This is Chef Major, one of his little,
Ooh, we should talk about that. We didn't put that on our list,
Yeah,
but
quick
that's
little
definitely
sidebar.
related.
yeah. Chef Major's got a brand new job.
And if you don't know who Chef Major is, he's been the executive chef at Kings Island and has done a fantastic job.
Yes, if you
He is now the
over there.
regional executive chef.
Yes.
I don't know what parks are exactly considered in that region.
They
Kings Island,
they
Cedar Point.
didn't mention it, but they did say it was 6 parks that he now oversees.
I would assume it's almost like what Jason.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too. I bet whatever parks Jason McClure, the former general manager, is at, is probably what
I'm gonna say,
which was like Cedar Point. I think Canada's Wonderland.
I think Michigan's Adventure was in there.
Michigan's
Valley Fair.
Maybe.
I
Dorney,
know.
I know what Dorney is.
I think it was all of those minus Valley Fair plus Carowinds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Something like that.
Because
we could be wrong, but yeah.
Carowinds is definitely
Doesn't
on the
matter.
list because he relocated to Charlotte.
Well, I mean, for all the announcements for 2023, maybe he's doing, California's, Great America.
Yeah, maybe.
New in 2024, brand new food. New in 2025.
But I'm
Leveled
excited
parks.
because he is like your food game. Like he is like a diamond in the rough. Like
my God.
I'm so happy that he has been promoted because Kings Island.
And he's such a good guy.
Kings Island's food experience has just been topped and topped again since he has been in that position.
And
at Kings
then
Island.
we also heard that he had a little bit of helped Cedar Point a little bit with like farmhouse and
Yeah.
things like that. So I mean, it's going to be a win because I think the amusement parks, I don't know about Six Flags has gotten the memo, but like food, like you need to elevate your food and not just have fried chicken fingers and fries. And I mean, yeah, you're going to still sell that, but if you kind of upgraded it just a little bit more, you can charge more of a premium price,
And people will pay it.
and people will pay it because
I mean, Farmhouse has chicken tenders, and they're some of the best chicken tenders I've ever had.
Yeah, and I'm sure I've mentioned this on the podcast before. I know you guys know, but I don't tend to eat at Cedar Fair parks just because I don't ever go for long enough, and the food is never that great that I'd rather just go somewhere local and support a local business.
I mean,
but at
like,
Kings
I'm
Island,
sure-
I always eat at Kings Island.
I'm sure he could elevate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah, and we were all 3 at Coaster Stock this year. Those 2 meals at Coaster Stock were some of the best theme park meals I've ever had.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great. Everything's good. So that's a big win. For them
Congratulations to Chef James Major.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely.
definitely. Exactly.
Quick plug
Right.
for him on Twitter at Chef Major 72 if you want to follow him.
And he posts a
Definitely
bunch
worth
of
following.
photos of like what's going on and behind the scenes photos. He's a cool follow.
He's an awesome guy.
Check him out.
So jumping kind of back into our scheduled, what we plan to talk about. We talked about how that week that they're doing the French Fry Festival is typically a dead week, but it seems like the past, couple days, weeks at all of the parks that we've been going to have been pretty dead.
Everywhere is dead this week.
Yeah, I mean,
probably too late now if you're listening to the podcast, but like these were a good couple weeks to go to parks.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
even our Orlando parks, we went today. I went to Universal this afternoon, and then me, Dean, and Abby went to Epcot tonight. Soarin', one of the most popular rides at Epcot, had a 10-minute wait. Wow. We walked right into the first pre-show of Guardians of the Galaxy, waited, 15 minutes for that. I was at where was I at on Monday? Animal Kingdom. I was at Animal Kingdom on Monday. There was no lines there. So I don't know if this is just a kids are back in school thing or if this is kind of a new trend that we're seeing.
I don't know. I kind of think that people like for Cedar Point wise, I think people are like, all right, they've got their use out of their pass and stuff. And I think that they're really kind
Just
of
wait for Haunt.
They're gearing up and waiting for Haunt to start. And then that's when the flood is coming. And I think it's just going to be, I mean, we've seen, Halloween Horror Nights down in Florida, like is selling out days, like literally days. And so it's becoming really popular. And I think the same thing's going to happen with Cedar Point. I think it's going to be insane. I think Kings Island's going to be insane as well.
These parks being dead this week isn't a issue of,
No.
theme park attendance. It's just, I think it's really just the way the calendar fell this year.
And it's such a weird time of the year too, because kids are starting school, but like you said, Carson, people haven't, started their fall vacations yet. So if you're local to any parks, it's been a nice couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Steel Vengeance was like a 10-minute wait, almost a walk on. Pretty much like the 10 minutes was because of the
Lockers.
metal detectors. Yeah, that was literally it. You
All
walk
week.
up the steps and get right on, like literally. And then same thing with like just walk on for Maverick or walk on from Millennium Force or maybe a 5-minute wait or
Yeah.
So
I
definitely
think the highest wait I saw all week looking at the queue times was like 30 for Maverick.
yeah,
Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind here like 2 hours ago when we wrote it. The only time we had to wait was for the 2 pre-shows. Other than that, you walked right on.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's. I think there's definitely pent up demand for fall, and so we'll definitely gonna see it. So.
Oh yeah, I know you were talking about Horror Nights selling out, and we'll get into Horror Nights at the end of the show. But this Friday or tomorrow, opening night, Friday September 2nd, is officially sold out, and Sunday September 3rd is officially sold out. Or no, Sunday's the 4th. Sunday September 4th is sold out as well.
I'm sure Saturday is too.
Not yet.
Wow, that's surprising.
That's interesting. People probably like, oh, it's a Saturday. I'm not going.
Well, and a lot of the Horror Nights annual passes don't include Saturday, and that's a big chunk.
So they assume they could sell more tickets.
Yes.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be very, very interesting.
Yeah, reach out to us. Let us know what part, if you're local to a park that's not Cedar Point, let us know how the crowds have been.
Yeah, we'd love to know.
If they're open this week.
Yeah.
Speaking of, just a side note really quick. Speaking of reaching out, we did launch our photo contest on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, plug that.
Yeah, so every year, CP Rundown, us, we do a calendar. And
a really nice calendar, too. Really high quality.
We try to get fan submissions, and we try to take the best ones that look the best, kind of, and we display them in the calendar. So if you got some photos, feel free to hop on our Facebook page and see what the specifications are and send us an email with some of the photos. So no on-ride photography, no group photos,
no
selfies.
No backstage.
Yeah, no backstage
no restricted area.
Pretty much, we love our fans, but we don't need to see you in the picture.
Right. Because you got to think that everybody's going to see that, and we don't. We want to display the coasters and the rides and the haunts and things like that. We don't.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I just don't want to look at your kid for 30 days in a row. I just don't.
Carson,
maybe it'll be February, so that would 28 days.
Do you know off the top of your head when the last day to submit photos for this is?
I don't.
It's gonna be a while.
It'd probably be like a month. Got some. We can plug it.
Probably by the end of the season. We'll say end of the season.
So if you're listening to this and you have a nice camera or a nice cell phone, go out and take some cool pictures. Maybe we'll put them in our calendar.
Yeah, and you could take rides or take pictures on the giant wheel.
But not the Skyride.
But not the Skyride. Yes,
nope.
Giant wheel. Get some sunset pictures.
We cannot stress enough
that have been really good. So
cannot stress enough. You have to follow all park policies and protocols for your photo to be considered.
Again, like we ended the show last week. Don't be that guy or that gal.
Please.
Yeah, for sure.
Or else Cedar Point might take your season pass away. Speaking of which.
Oh, wow. That was a good segue.
Wow. Jeez. There's the engineer.
Kyle, I'm coming for your job.
There it is.
I'm going to have to resign.
Right?
That was totally not forced at all.
Love it.
Anyways.
So, yeah, season passes.
Not much to say. Prices are going up after Labor Day.
You got 4 days, 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 0 seconds until the prices go up.
Supposedly. Although they're probably going to get extended. The sale's probably going to get extended, but
maybe we don't know that.
We don't know for sure.
Just buy your pass by okay?
If
by the end of the day.
If you want
your pass by September 5th.
Yeah, if you want to save yourself a couple dollars, don't even chance it. Just buy your pass now.
Well, the thing is the season passes will go up, but you never know when food and drink passes will go up, especially food, because food goes up kind of whenever, and so they can tick that up whenever they want. So, but yeah, they've got all these passes. They've got the gold pass, which is going to be $99. It does not have early entry, for Cedar Point next year. That's one of the things that they got rid of. I think it's going to be nice because I think Platinum's kind of gonna, be more of hey, let's get the platinum pass because it's got more benefits.
Well, that's a platinum perk too that kind of irked a lot of people when the gold pass, because it used to be just platinum pass holders for that early ride time, and then they added the gold pass, and people didn't seem to like that move. So this seems to be more of a kind of good faith move of, hey, we understand that you're buying a higher pass, so we want to deliver you a higher experience.
I mean, it's only $100 or $99 for that gold pass that gets you into Cedar Point and Cedar Point or Cedar Point Shores. I can't talk tonight, so sorry.
Stoke City,
long day. Yeah. Also, like, if you want to visit, Kings Island and other Cedar Fair parks, they've got the Platinum Pass, which is, $250. It's kind of a big jump, but I mean, it pays for all your parking. It pays for, the whole 9 yards and stuff. So you've got that.
It pays for itself.
Or you've also got, they finally added it to the website. You don't have to know the specific link from the email, but the Prestige Pass and the Prestige Pass Plus Pass. Wow, that's a tongue twister.
Say that one 10 times fast too.
Yeah, those are.
That's just as bad as the fried.
The Prestige Pass, is just good for just for Cedar Point, but you get a lot more benefits. You get discounts and you get the whole 9 yards. You can go on cedarpoint.com/season passes and find more information out about the Prestige Plus is $299, and the Prestige Pass is $299. The Prestige Pass Plus that includes Cedar Point and all the other Cedar Fair parks is $399. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you live in that kind of sweet spot where a lot of our listeners/fans live, where you're an hour to Cedar Point, 3 to Kings Island, 5 to Canada's Wonderland, 5 or 6 to Dorney, get the Platinum Pass. It's worth it.
Yeah, either that or like I just upgraded to the Prestige Pass Plus Pass, and I was able to do the VIP area, and I got some free cookies and some chips, and yeah, so it's fun.
You got me a cookie too, even though I'm not Prestige.
Now,
maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, I think that might be against the rules, guys. We're going to have to look into that.
Jeez. Carson, your pass is going away. I'm sorry.
It's been revoked.
Edit that out, Kyle.
Yeah, right.
It's too late. Everything's staying.
Hey, the lady at the booth said it was okay.
So. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah.
I mean, they're still giving out the same number of cookies. It's just not you eating it.
Right. But yeah, Fallen Park rules.
Yes.
All
right.
As we're kind of winding down here towards the end of the show, because we did tell you it'd be a shorter show. One thing that we've always talked about on this show is fun days out near Sandusky that aren't necessarily Cedar Point. And one of our favorites among the three of us is Waldemere, and they just announced something new for next year.
They sure did.
Awesome.
It is a brand new, I guess you could say, water coaster. That's what they're calling
that's the official
coaster.
Term. It's a water coaster.
But yeah, so it's called they don't have a name for it. So it's Rocket Blast, but pretty much it's got a bunch of saucers that like turn you around.
The point of those is really tight turns that the inline inner tube could go high up the side of the wall.
Yeah, and it's fun. It's supposedly it's going to be really, really long. It's also going to be
3 uphill launches.
It's also going to have 3 rocket blasts sections. 3 banked of those saucer turns, and then it's also supposed
big water coaster.
It's also supposed to be above an existing slide complex there, so that's going to be interesting how they do all that. But it's only like 90 miles or so from Cleveland, so I mean it's pretty close. Like it's actually a family-owned park. Like if you want to see like a really old-fashioned park, it's not super, super old-fashioned, but it's really nice. You can go for a picnic.
I mean, it's like $40 to get in there, and next year you're going to be able to ride one of the best water attractions in the country and one of the best wooden coasters in the country.
Yeah, Ravine Fire too.
Well,
great coaster.
Even if you don't want to spend that $40 to get in, they're pay per ride.
Right.
This is true.
Yeah.
You do have to buy like a combo pass to go to the water park.
Like friend of the show, Jared, when me and him went to Waldemere this year, we just, paid per each individual ride that we did.
Yes.
And it's not outrageously expensive. It's like $4 to ride Ravine Flyer.
No. Oh, wait. I misspoke. We bought the nighttime pass because we showed up after 6.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, it's an old fashioned, and if you're in a coaster club, you can actually save a few bucks. That's
what I did
on the tickets. So Check them
look
out.
into that. With American Coaster Enthusiasts, to plug them, I guess, you get the ride and slide combo pass for the price of just an all-day ride pass.
Nice.
It's like
Very
$10.
cool. Hey, $10 is $10, you know.
$10 that you could spend on food like potato
Or
patch.
you can buy a button pack at Cedar Point, 2 button packs.
2 of them, yeah.
I think 1 1/4, 1 3/4. I think they're $6 now.
You can have that in a little bit some. So yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm excited about it. I love new water rides. I love water coasters and stuff. And obviously, we want Cedar Point to add water stuff. Or
Maybe this is what'll get Cedar Point to finally hop on the water coaster train.
Or flume. Can we get a flume?
Please, that's not Shoot the Rapids.
A flume? Oh gosh, a flume would be nice. But other than that, then yeah.
So go check out Waldameer next year.
Yeah.
They deserve it. They're awesome.
I agree. So yeah.
And then to kind of end the show here, me and Evan wanted to take a couple minutes to talk about what we've been up to lately. Obviously, Orlando for me, and then he visited the Columbus Zoo. So I'll start. Tonight is like Christmas Eve for me. My favorite event ever is Halloween Horror Nights. Go ahead.
I'm so jealous.
Well, Carson, I'll see you down here in 2 weeks, and we'll go together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Carson's going down there on my birthday weekend.
Yeah.
But I'm
but
gonna celebrate your birthday really well.
Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando. Tomorrow is opening night. All 3 of the residents of this apartment got their Frequent Fear Plus passes, so we're ready to go.
Nice.
The main draw for Halloween Horror Nights is every year they have 10 new houses, 10 new haunted houses, and they're good. It's not just like,
Wait, I don't want to cut you off, but they come up with 10 new houses every single year.
Every year.
Yep.
A Horror Nights house will not be repeated. 10 new houses every year.
Awesome.
As
That's sad too if you really like a house.
They might have like the same name or something or whatever, or same IP, but it'll be like configured differently.
Yeah. So obviously, one of them this year is Halloween with Michael Myers. There's a Halloween house at Universal almost every year, but it's always different. There's a different story, different path, different props.
So awesome.
Yeah. So they have 10 haunted houses, 5 scare zones, and 2 shows, and everything's different every year.
Yep. And they also do they also do like IP houses, meaning they get like, for instance, if they had Stranger Things, they don't have it this year, but
I was going to say, haven't they done Stranger Things?
They did They did 2 Stranger Things houses in the past. From what I understand,
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, from what I understand, Netflix did not want to re-sign the deal to do it again this year.
Well, hopefully next year.
The IPs this year, Evan, are The Weekend, After Hours Nightmare.
I've heard about that. That's
and The Weekend is
it's probably themed to a Super Bowl show.
We got Halloween, which is the Michael Myers house.
Right.
Let's see. Actually, that might be it. Besides the Universal Legends, the Universal Monsters Legends Collide. But that's
what would that be?
Well, that's their own intellectual property.
Right.
Okay, so like I've never been to Universal,
so a lot of the classic horror movies that like Dracula, Wolfman, The Mummy.
Oh, okay.
Those are all Universal movies.
Okay, then their monsters are in this house.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
So in addition to the ones I just mentioned, there is The Horrors of Blumhouse, which Blumhouse is a horror movie company.
I think that's IP as well.
Okay, I'm confused because does Universal own Blumhouse? I thought they did, but maybe they don't.
I couldn't tell you for sure.
Okay. Well, anyway, those are the IP houses, and then every year they usually do 5 and 5, Evan, where it's 5 IP, 5 from Universal Creative. This year it's 6 and 4, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I think someone dropped off, but I'm not exactly sure.
Well,
for what it's worth, I just looked up Blumhouse. They have produced Paranormal Activity, Insidious, The Purge, Get Out, Us.
Can I just say really
Halloween.
Quick for like their houses, they're very, you feel like you're really in the movie or really in whatever, because you'll feel like if someone's getting like shot or stabbed or something, you'll get like spritzes of water, but like it'll look like it's almost blood that's like getting like spewed everywhere, or like
they really use their
you'll smell
abilities as a Hollywood production company.
Yes, yeah, and you'll smell like if someone's baking cookies or in your kitchen, you'll like kind of smell those kinds of things. The
That's
Purge
cool.
as well. Like there was a scene where like one of the actors was like shooting something, and all of a sudden you felt like pops of like pulsating air almost at you, and you almost feel like you almost were like almost getting shot. So it's really really in depth.
Yeah, so I'm not going to take up too much more time, but Evan, I will read you the descriptions for the other houses, the Universal Creative ones.
Mhm.
So first we have Spirits of the Coven. A coven of beautiful flapper witches will lure you into their 1920s speakeasy, reveal their haggish true form, and turn your scream squad into a witch's brew. They'll be cackling, you'll be screaming.
Okay.
Then we have Bugs Eaten Alive. While touring a
Ooh.
1950s home of the future, you'll be surrounded by the slime of bugs everywhere as hordes of many-legged terrors descend
Oh,
upon
no.
you and your scream
I don't
squad.
like that.
You'll be dropping like flies.
I'm excited for that one.
That's going to be terrifying.
All right, four more. Fiesta de Chupacabras. Visit a Latin American village where the legend of the creature Chupacabra is celebrated with a colorful fiesta, and the streets are lined with the crimson blood of tourists like you and your amigos.
Okay, interesting.
Next up is Hellblock Horror. Enter a prison whose savage inmates are monstrous creatures. If they break free from their cells, it's a death sentence for everyone.
Spoiler alert: they're going to break free from themselves.
Yeah, probably.
Right.
The one that I'm looking forward to the most, Dead Man's Pier Winter's Wake. In a New England fishing village, undead fishermen emerge from the waves to seek their revenge. You and your scream squad may have escaped their hooks in the scare zone. Now they'll reel you in and drag you under. Dead Man's Pier was, like we were talking about earlier, the name of a scare zone a couple years ago. So this is kind of a continuation of that story.
Okay.
And then the last one, Descendants of Destruction. Careful not to leave any of your scream squad behind as you descend the subway tunnels of a deserted New York. Lurking in the dark are hungry mutants looking to feast on the last remnants of humanity.
So just a normal day in New York.
Pretty much. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm really excited. We used to come down and we would do like 4 nights at Horror Nights, but now I live here so I can go for the whole event. I'm so pumped.
That sounds awesome. That really sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Other than that, just a lot of Disney, a lot of Universal. Like I said, we went over to Epcot tonight. We've been going over every Thursday to do Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
Why Thursday?
That seems to be the night that Abby and Dean have the least amount of schoolwork, like to bring home.
Nice.
You know, like grading papers, all that fun stuff.
Gotcha.
And Guardians of the Galaxy has 6 ride sequences, 6 different songs, 6 different, audio dialogues, show scenes, all that stuff. I got my 6th song tonight. I completed the gauntlet.
Woo!
The tour.
Yes, I completed the tour.
I love it. And everybody I'm sure wants to know, have you finally crossed over the 300 coaster mark?
Yeah, I did before I moved down here.
Well, we discuss that you
yeah, okay, so technically, yeah.
a roller coaster database, you're like, oh well, then if that's not a coaster, then I'm below 300 coasters.
Yeah, probably.
I was gonna say, you went to SeaWorld, right, recently?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, it was probably like Mako or
Yeah.
Icebreaker or something.
All
Hopefully.
right. So that's it for me. You're up, Evan.
So, I've been talking about this for probably a month. I don't know if I actually mentioned it on the podcast or just to you guys, but kind of a bucket list thing. Me and my girlfriend Maya went to the Columbus Zoo and Zoombezi Bay last weekend. And for those that don't know, they are a giant zoo, a giant water park, and a cute little amusement park that actually used to be a Six Flags park. It used to be Wyandotte Lake, a Six Flags property.
I had no idea.
They have 2 mid-sized roller coasters, a spinning mouse made by Zamperla. So a little preview of Cedar Point's,
There you
and a wooden coaster, not much different than Woodstock Express at Kings Island. And so crossing those two credits off, I have now ridden every major credit in Ohio. If basically anything that's not a kiddie coaster.
I was gonna say, what about the IX Indoor Amusement Park? Did you get those coasters?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Just
And
making sure.
Stricker's Grove?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Wow. What a
I was like
nerd.
8 when I went to Strickers Grove.
That's fun.
Yeah, so anything like above like kiddie coaster level, I've ridden in Ohio.
Well,
So that's pretty cool.
I'm gonna make sure I like, I don't know, chain you to like a door so that way you can never ride Cedar Point's newest coaster.
You're never gonna get that Wild Mouse credit.
Right. Nope, not gonna let you do it. I'm gonna be like, no, you're not.
I'm gonna be watching them build it, like twitching, like I need to ride it.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean, the amusement park was cute. I mean, it was those 2 coasters and a few like family flat rides. Whoop-de-doo.
I think
the zoo is
that's
insane.
a Jack Hanna zoo too. Like Jack Hanna, you know,
that was like his home base or whatever.
Yeah.
That zoo is absolutely insane. And also within the zoo, they have a water boat ride that's like a slow, like think of it as a log flume without any hills.
Flume.
That goes through a bunch of animatronic dinosaurs, basically dinosaurs alive on the water. We did not ride that, but saw it. And they also have an old carousel from like 1901 or 1911 or something. I'd have to read where it came from and all that, but that's really cool. And then they also have a giant, awesome water park that we spent a few hours in. There's a water coaster, there's a funnel, there's 2 toilet bowls, there's a mat racing slide.
Sounds like fun.
Like a boomerang type slide. I don't know. They have like pretty much all like the big name water slides from Pro Slide because they opened in 2008, and that's when Pro Slide was getting big. So they bought a lot of Pro Slide stuff. Yeah, it's great water park, and again, very affordable. We did a full day at this. Well, we split our day between the zoo, the amusement park, and the water park. We spent $40, and that got us admission to the water park and the zoo, and then it was $2 per ride on coaster. So another $4 each for both of us. So $44 for a really, really awesome fun day, and it's only about 2 hours south of Cleveland. So go to Columbus Zoo.
Sounds fun. I haven't been there, so I'm gonna have to get those credits, and then I'll probably be like right in your backyard of having all of the major coasters in Ohio. So,
have you been Strickers?
Almost. I have been, but I haven't ridden the coasters. I said almost.
Oh, you did that. You did the all-season tour thing, right?
Yeah.
I've had this conversation with you.
I think he's told it. I think he's told it on the show too, from when I went to Strickers earlier this summer.
Probably.
I've slept since then.
You know. Well.
All right.
I'll get him sometime.
Yep. All right. Well.
Anybody have anything else to add?
Can I just say go Ohio State? Because it's a big game this weekend. So, you know.
We're sports fans on the show too.
Huge sports fans.
Also, go Cavs, Donovan Mitchell.
My alma mater is playing UCLA this coming week. They'll probably lose, but good luck to them.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I'm excited for football because that's probably one of my bigger things. But yeah, so football will be back, and so.
All right. Well, thank you for tuning in this week. Like we said, just kind of a quick hits episode. We hope next week we have more news and we can get back to a regular format. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. As always, we will keep you updated on Facebook. If you don't follow us there, go ahead and do that. Like previous weeks, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're still working on iHeartRadio. Hope to have that soon. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and we hope you have a great week. Be kind to your ride ops, folks, and we will see you on the Midway. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Whoop, whoop.